Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Calorie Crush, and as you will see, I am up, dressed, functioning and looking a lot more human. Last week's Calorie Crush video was really short. I simply was not feeling it. I was very annoyed by the fact that I'd gained the £4 and also kind of resentful of it, because I honestly don't think that I deserved that £4. I didn't feel like I deserved it at the time. Looking back at my food diary, I didn't think I deserved it. You were very supportive in the comments, and for that I thank you and I appreciate it very much. You were really supportive. You reassured me that that maybe it was just the recovery period from COVID. Who knows? Lots of you have said that you gained weight very suddenly when you got better from COVID. I honestly don't. I do not know what caused the issue. All I know is that I was disappointed by my performance or whatever. So on top of that, I felt really rough. I had a banging headache when I recorded that, and I didn't really want to record it at all. I was like, one side of me goes, oh, you can just skip it. And I was like, you can't just skip it, because that's the entire point. The entire point of documenting your journey is that you cover the highs and the lows. You know, if you just skip the bits you don't want to do, that's not going to be productive in the long run. So I recorded it, but my heart wasn't in it, and I'm sure that came across, and for that I apologise. But I'm up, I'm running, I'm pretty much back to normal. Tiny after effects of COVID. I have a runny nose a lot of the time, and my nose is sore inside from where it's running, and I'm blowing it a lot. And I don't know if that's COVID related or something else. It could be hay fever related. I do get a bit hay fevery, and of course we've had nice weather, so who knows. I've been swimming several times. I think 3 weeks running now, Natalie and I have been swimming. I've not been to the gym for a while. My knee has been in a bad way and I've struggled at the gym, and so I stopped going to the gym because it was just seemed to be making the situation worse. But I've now started the swimming and that seems to be going okay. Having said that, I've pulled this shoulder today, so I must have... Natalie and I tried to have a race, and I'm a terrible swimmer. I don't drown, but I don't get anywhere very fast and I thrash around a lot. And I think where I tried to force myself to beat her, which I failed miserably, I think I've, yeah, pulled or overworked to muscle it. There's always going to be something for me to complain about, always. Excuse my phone. So, today is Monday. It is Monday, isn't it? Yeah, today is Monday, and I'm recording this on Monday, and I got on the scales this morning. So the last 2 weeks I have weighed on a Tuesday. The first week I did it on a Tuesday, it was because I had eaten on the Monday without remembering to weigh first, and I don't like to weigh after I've eaten, so I weighed on the Tuesday. Last week I weighed on the Tuesday because I felt like I had to weigh a week later, but I wanted to get back to a Monday weigh-in, and so I got on the scales this morning. So what you're looking at today, when you see my scales result, is a 6-day result. And that gets me back on track for Monday weigh-ins. I've had, socially, a less active week, generally. Been out a couple of times, but Lex and I went to the pub for lunch on Thursday, and I'd had a really nice meal there, so I just had that meal again, but I added some vegetables to bulk it, because it was... When it came out, it was a chicken breast with new potatoes and a side salad, and the salad was a garnish more than a salad. And so when I ordered it again, I ordered a side of vegetables to go with it, so that helped. It's just trying to make better choices, I think, off of menus. I think other things have slipped in here and there, and I want to chase those things back out again. And I've tried to lay off the bread a bit more. So as you know, I'm doing daily food diaries now. They do help. They help me. I'm sorry if they don't help you, but they help me with my feeling of accountability, with my knowing that somebody's going to see this very soon, not in a week's time. So they do help me by doing that. But that does mean that if you're not interested in watching those, you may not know what I'm talking about when I say what meals I've had. I'm going to put a screenshot in of what my weekly calories were. That'll be here somewhere, because one thing I'm not doing on those food diaries, I'm not every day, I'm not saying the exact number I've had. I'm saying how many I've got left, but I'm not necessarily saying the exact number I've had. And with it being daily, it's difficult to keep a tally as a viewer of how many I've had over the week, if that interests you. So if I put that here, you'll be able to see how many I had over the week, and I came in underneath the 14,000 for the week last week. So I aim for no more than 2,000 a day, but that's 14,000 in a week, and as long as I come in under that, I'm reasonably happy. Did have one day when I went over for sure, and then on the Sunday, there's a possibility, it looks like I've got a few left, but as I said on the Sunday food diary, those calories were a little bit estimated that day because I didn't plate my own Sunday lunch, so I wasn't sure how much had gone on my plate. I had to estimate a bit. Anyway, I'm going to hop on the scales, come and see how I've got on this week. Last week I weighed 274.5 pounds. It's Monday, it's scales time. It's 270.6, I round that up to 271. That gives me a £3.5 loss. That's 3.5 off again. I'm really pleased. So I had a week of 3.5 off, then I had a week of 4 on, now I've got 3.5 off again. We're a bit yo-yo-y, but it does mean that I'm not at the 4 on stage where I was last week. I still don't know what caused that. As you know, I do have an issue with fluid retention in one of my legs. I suspect lipedema or lymphedema. I can never remember which one it is, but I've not had any conclusive input from doctors about that yet. They've done blood tests and stuff, but nobody's come back to me and said, yes, we think it's this and this is what you should do. So I had, that swelled quite bad last week, but it's gone down this week. I'm trying to remember to elevate it more. The doctor said to me, when you're working, can you get your leg up above your heart? And I was like, I work at a desk. I cannot imagine any circumstance in which this leg can be up here while I'm typing and looking at the computer. But I do, if I'm watching telly on the couch now, I turn around and I lie on the couch and I put my leg up against the wall, see if that would help. And I try doing that in bed at night as well a little bit, try to elevate it in bed. So I'm trying to do that. And I've also been trying to do a kind of a lymphatic drainage massage on that leg as well to get things moving. And maybe that's helped. I don't know what's helped, but something's helped because we are back to the 3.5 off again. So last week I had to take 4 off of my board. This week I've got 3.5 to go back on. So this end one here, this one is my little half counter. So the half can come off and then 4 can go on, which means I'll have added 3.5. I'm sure that makes sense to you. Mary's keeping a beady eye on me to make sure I do it right. For new viewers, I should perhaps explain the Mary Berry thing. In my kitchen, on the shelf above the cooker, is a Mary Berry cookbook with Mary Berry on the spine. And I got into a silly habit when because I always stand the scales on the same spot on the kitchen floor so that I know I'm getting a regular reading. And I got in a silly habit of standing on the scales, looking at Mary Berry, looking her dead in the eye and saying, help me out, Mary Berry, help me out here, I need your help. At one point I cleared out the cookery books and I could put that in a box to go away, and then the next day I got on the scales and I was like, oh, it's weird without Mary, so Mary had to come back. One of you lovely people sent me the Mary Berry cutout. So now here she is, keeping an eye on me at all times, making sure that I do the counter right, if nothing else. So that's the story of why Mary Berry is there, because I realised to some people who, if you are a new viewer, you're like, what's she doing there? She's the queen of cake. You don't want her in your weight loss plan. Also, if I do gain weight, I tend to blame Mary instead of myself. My weight loss totals now stand at 7 stone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pounds. 7 stone, 11 pounds. I'm £3 away from that 8 stone. I want that 8 stone. I got to the point where I was £2.5 away, and now I've gone back a bit, but still. I want that 8 stone, and I feel much happier. The good weather has helped. I experience mild seasonal affective disorder, and we've had quite a grey winter. We haven't had a very cold winter. We've been very lucky temperature-wise, but we've had quite a long grey winter. And so the fact that we've had this nice spell of weather has really helped. It's lifted my mood, it's helped my motivation, and it's given me some more drive and determination to carry on. I've lost something like 2 stone in the last year. I was looking at my Renfo app this morning, bear with me. I have those Renfo scales that connect to an app on your phone. Plays you a little tune if you've lost weight. It says on my app, from the 26th of March 2021 to the 28th of March 2022, the difference in me is 2 stone 7 pounds. So 2.5 stone in the last year, out of a total of 7 stone 11. So I lost 5 stone and a bit in the first 6 to 8 months. I started in August 2020, so September, October, November, December, January, February, March. In the first 7 months, I lost the first 5 stone. It's taken me a year to lose another 2.5 stone, and that's okay. Empirical evidence suggests that weight that comes off slower stays off longer. I don't have a time limit for this. I'll get there when I get there, if I get there at all. As long as I'm not going back the other way, as long as I'm not piling it back on, as long as I'm not coming in taking stones off of my progress on a regular basis, I'm happy. Even if I stop losing weight now and just maintain this loss forever, I'd be happy, because I feel like I've achieved quite a lot, really. But I do want to carry on. I've got a little bit further to go yet before I feel like I've, made enough of a difference. My BMI has gone down by 5.7 in the last year, but it's still 44, which is still nearly dead, or whatever they do with BMIs. My body fat is 45.7%, and an acceptable level is 32. So quite a long way to get that down there. Interestingly, the Renfo scales say that my fat-free body weight would be 10.5 stone, and that my muscle mass is 9 stone 12. It says my bone mass is only 8.8 pounds. Is that right? Does a skeleton only weigh just over half a stone? Is that a true thing? If you're anything medical and you know the answer to that, let me know. And my basal metabolic rate, which is how much I burn by existing, is still 1,809 calories according to the Renfo scales. I don't know how accurate they are, but that's how much I burn just by existing at the size, weight and height that I am now. So I'm still okay on the 2,000 calories for now. I am open to the idea of adjusting it if and when necessary, but as long as it's still okay, I'm still okay. I've rambled a bit, but thank you for joining me. I'm really pleased with this week's result. I'm really chuffed to be at 7 stone 11 pound loss. I did say that I wanted to get the 8 stone by the end of March, and that's 3 days away, so I think it's unlikely that I'm going to get another £4 off in the next 3 days. £3. 7 stone 11, it would be another £3 in the next 3 days. Unlikely that those £3 are going to drop off in the next 3 days unless I get some kind of chronic illness. But it'll happen when it happens, and that's okay. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back next week with Carla's Calorie Crush. Take care. Bye for now.